So yeah, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mark. I don't take this opportunity for granted.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for setting up such a platform. And I believe the old boys out there that are listening in will definitely get something out of it.
Now, we are, firstly, of course, the structure of the conversation is open, but we are going to first go into the deep stuff so that we really first hit what's more important, then we'll talk about you.
Okay.
So, one, you come to the platform as one Angonian, an old boy, and also the general manager of the Nakoba Savings Credit. So what's Sacco in full again?
Nakoba Sacco is a Namilyango College, old boys, cooperative savings, and credit society.
So what's your role as general manager? And this question, I am asking it in brief. You see, my role here, I am like the product lead. So I make sure that clients who work with us get some value for their money from the work we produce. So that entails like making sure sound quality is good, work is delivered on time, things like that. But now I want to understand your role as general manager for the Sacco. Then we'll start from there.
My role as general manager, I oversee the day-to-day operations of the Sacco. Basically, I oversee the finance, I oversee the marketing, I oversee the loans, and generally the general operation of the Sacco. Yeah.
Now, as we look into the Sacco, what's the difference between a Sacco? Also, maybe you like define the Sacco. What's the difference between a Sacco and just a credit savings group? Like maybe there's no more maybe now of people. I've seen how other people save as compared to how we save in the Nacoba Saver, in the Nakoba Sacco, is how other people save. Is they save like in groups, then they save in groups, and then collectively get back money in like turns, let's say week, like that. So it more like, I don't know if it improves their credit, but then, I want you to like give me a difference between those credit savings groups and our type of Sacco and maybe the benefit.
Okay, personally, I've been able to work with the Whistlas. They're called Village Savings and Loan Associations. I've been able to work with them, those webinars where ladies or local people collect money, either 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, 10,000 per week, and then they save up to a year, and then they share whatever they have saved. So where a Sacco becomes different from those is that a Sacco is a going institution. It operates like a bank of sorts. You do not pull out your money after a particular saving time. Like it is not. Well, there might be different savings products where an individual might save a particular target, and then after take out his or her savings, but there must be an aspect of a going concern that the institution keeps growing every year through the retained earnings. So that's how a Sacco will differ from the Village Savings and Loan Associations, because with the Whistlas, all the money that is brought is used up, and then you begin afresh the next coming year. Every year you begin afresh. Yeah.
So it's just keeping people afloat with like tangible project. Now for Nakoba Sacco, who qualifies to join the Sacco?
And now, old boys at the moment, old boys of Namilyango College qualify to be members of the Sacco. Old boys, yes.
So it's just do we have like expansion plans to people outside? If say I have a partner or spouse, but I'm already saving in the Sacco, and they like the culture, do they qualify, or right now it's strictly?
No, right now it is strictly to the old boys of the Namilyango College, and basically old boys that subscribe to the Nacoba as an alumni. So basically, right now it is still strict to the old boys of Namilyango College. But of course, as we move forward, as we grow in stature as an institution, then growth is inevitable. At some point, we might have to open up to the public, because when you become a bank, will your members only be old boys? Because with the bank, you've opened up.
Exactly. When you look at the growth we have grown with in such a short period. I was reading the article, I think, in the Daily Monitor. Was it in the Daily
That's
Monitor?
New Vision. It was a New Vision.
It was in the New Vision of how we are the strongest circle.
Yes,
I think in the
maybe to correct
boys?
you a bit,
Yeah.
it is we could be. We are allegedly. We are. It is alleged that we are the strongest school's alumni circle at the moment.
And by strongest in this case, is it money at bank we have the most, or the culture, or we have a bigger membership?
Well, it is being looked at as yes, the membership, yes, but also the money that the membership has been able to collect. The money or the funds that the membership has been able to collect. It's not the growth here is not being looked at as the numbers that let's say we have 500 members, but the membership, the funds that the members have been able to collect. So that's what is defining our growth at the moment.
So in terms of services, seeing as the Sacco is like a financial institution, what services, personally I know because I've been getting some of these services, of course, from the Sacco for a very long time now. But to the guys that are going to listen to the podcast, if you could just enlighten them on what services the Sacco extends to them and the benefits as to why they should join. You see, I've also struggled so much. I know in my cohort, 2007 to 2012, we're not so many, but I'm also among the very first people that got to meet you. Then you told me about the Sacco, then I joined. So, but I've struggled to convince people with the benefits. Of course, the very many testimonials of other people I've showed them. Our former boss, Henry, and also former president, is a testimonial of what I was telling people on how maybe you could keep your business afloat, because those are things I had seen. But maybe coming from you, what are those services the Sacco extends to us, the members, that are entirely beneficial?
To respond to your question, it is so clear, and it is a concern to me as the general manager at the moment that you see, a Sacco is as good as its what? Members. Yeah. So the strength of the Sacco, yes, we have said it. We have said right now we are measuring our strength basing on the funds that the membership has been able to collect, but also the membership. Yeah. The total membership is also another factor. But in order to grow the memberships, the Sacco members, the converted ones, the converted OBs and now in the Sacco, are indirectly ambassadors of the Sacco. So basically, they should be equipped with everything that is to do with the Sacco, because they are our ambassadors out there. True. Where the management is not, the old boys are.
Yes, totally
so,
agree.
And I think this podcast will be able to inform the already converted, to inform them with knowledge, so as to know what the Sacco is all about. Okay, now to dive into the question, the services of the Sacco could be broken down into the definition of the Sacco itself. Yeah. That is a savings and credit institution. So basically, you have savings products and loan products. So, but aside that, we also look at, you see, when you are an institution or a brand, as the Sacco is today, as the Namilyango Old Boys Sacco is, it is becoming a brand. It's actually a brand.
Definitely, it's a brand.
So you get to partner with people. Yeah. And then out of your partnerships with different entities, you create services for your members. And this is the medical insurance. The medical insurance. So apart from the loan products that we're giving out to our members and the saving products, we are also very passionate at the health of our members.
Which is definitely
at the health of our members and their families. For us, we are simply saying that if you save money in the Sacco without paying attention to your health, you are as good as saving money for future medical issues.
And
see my point.
That's what a large chunk of people do. They
Exactly.
make money, then they end up spending on heavy diseases.
Exactly. So now, we because the health of our members is very, very, it's a priority that a healthy member will save. We'll not have to worry about tomorrow's this and that.
Yes.
You get.
Yes.
A healthy member will save, will heed to the monthly contribution. So that is why we came up with Nakoba Sacco medical insurance scheme, which started in 2016. 2016, now 6 years down the road, we are providing medical facilities.
How is the package like? If you just can.
Now, the package is
the medical insurance.
We get a medical insurance providers. Currently, we are partnering with Prudential Uganda, and we have developed a very enviable and admirable relationship with Prudential Uganda Limited. So we look at we structure our package in a way that we get for our members an inpatient cover, outpatient cover, dental, optical, then maternity. So we basically look at those two, but then also look at the high dependence unit, the high dependence limit cover for critical issues. Then, of course, that cover comes with an annual wellness check. So basically, that's how we look at it. But again, we mostly look at the inpatient cover limits and outpatient. And then the clinical network, because members out there, Nacoba, Namilyango College being the oldest school in Uganda, oldest college in Uganda, it has old boys across this whole country, far and wide. But because we are dealing with medical insurance within our country, Uganda, we should have a provider who has a wide clinical network. Then when I go to Mbale, I'll get a service. When I go to Mbarara, when I go to Gulu, when I go to Kotido, I'll be able to get a service. So that's what we look out for.
Interesting.
Yes.
In terms of numbers,
yes.
I also read in the newspaper that we are transitioning into a bank sometime soon, but you'll highlight on that. But in terms of numbers, how big is the circle?
In terms of numbers?
Yeah.
In terms of numbers...
and how big is the membership in general?
The membership is now 500. And, well, it may look big. Yeah. But according to the thousands and tens of thousands of old boys out there...
Because we're the oldest college.
The oldest college in Uganda.
It only makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we believe that we have a huge catchment area, and our work is cut out for us already. We have to spread this gospel, and that is why right now I want to speak to the converted members, the converted Sacco members. The very energy, I want to speak to your energy, the very energy that informed your decision to join the Sacco.
Let me actually tell you a bit of my story.
Yeah.
So we meet, you tell me about the Sacco, then I think about it. Now, to me, the idea was clean.
Yeah.
I did not need so much that I knew that, you know what, all I need is to join this, put my money here.
Yep.
It is flexible.
Yep.
However amounts of money you have, then also the spirit. I don't know, you see that people are saving at least per week. So it keeps you on track. I just had to join. You didn't have to do so much. It was as obvious for me to know what, I need to put my money here.
Yeah. Whereas we have the likes of you that would look at things as obvious. You see that there are also members that are very passionate with they're passionate with Nacoba.
Yes.
They just love their school.
Yes.
So anything to do with their school, they'll be a part of it.
A big chunk. I feel like the solidarity you get from
exactly the Namilyango solidarity.
Yes.
Because during our college days, we had this, and it has become our lifestyle up to date, that in Namilyango we share. So there's one who will just join the circle because of that solidarity. But again, when we come out of college, our lives we get to do quite a number of things. We get to get involved in quite a number of things, business, this and that and that. So ideally, we kind of change. So there is one who will join the circle because of what is in it for me. You get, as just supposed just joining because so and so joined, one would want to know what is in it for me.
Yeah.
Why should I put my money in the Sacco
Yes.
and not in UAP and not anywhere else, not Wazalendo, not anywhere else? Why should I put in the Sacco? So now that is why.
That is the big question.
Now that is the big question.
Why should we put our money there? Why are we putting our money in the Sacco? Me, I know some of the reasons. You've convinced me a lot, all the meetings you've had. But why should people put their money in the Sacco?
Okay.
Yes.
So, first of all, there's something I've learned over time, that if you do not support your friends, if you do not support your friends, and you just grow alone, it will catch up with you.
Yes, you can't. It's that thing. You can't really feel comfortable if you have attained all this success and all your friends are
and then all your friends,
they're not on your level. You don't enjoy it.
You don't enjoy it.
You want to collectively all turn up. Anyone can show up. I get what you're saying.
So it now stems to our vision as a Sacco. The vision is to be the institution of choice for members' financial needs. Our financial needs vary.
Yes.
A particular member, probably certain member X in the US, might be saving in the Sacco purposely for an interest gain, interest on their savings, dividends on their shares. And then another member Y is saving probably to take out affordable credit at the end of that day.
I think to me that has been one of the most enjoyable things I've enjoyed from the Sacco, getting affordable credit when you need and access to
And I've realized over time that quite a number of old boys have taken out credit, and it has helped them grow
greatly.
I have seen them grow.
Some, yes.
So why would you choose Nakoba Sacco today other than choosing any other institution else, any other financial institution?
Is that question in terms of why would I choose it as Angonian, or why would
right now you'd choose it as Angonian, because I'm speaking to old boys that have saving groups at their workplaces. Old boys working in URA, old boys working in Umeme, they have staff Saccos. But what do you choose? Why would you choose Nakoba Sacco?
Even here we used to save our money with the class. He drank all the money. But please continue.
You get. We have competitive interest rates.
Yeah.
We have competitive interest rates.
For the interest rates, I think you'll have to now break it down. Like how competitive? Probably give me some examples of the market so that someone out there can really know that they're missing out on the interest rates, on how much maybe they get out, probably how they pay back.
Yes.
Money,
And then also, apart from the competitive interest rates, we have flexible repayment periods, repayment plans.
Yes.
We will not. You see, the beginning of delinquency is you forcing a repayment plan on a borrower.
Yes, I'll let me first give you an example before. There are very many of those credit financial things that have come up. Some of them have developed even applications where they do not know you. You just go. There's one I one day signed up on, Mango Cash. I got 40,000 Uganda shillings like this. No. So 40,000, I think I was supposed to pay it in a week.
Yeah, yep.
The week comes.
Yep.
Mango Cash called me in a day. It gave me 8 calls.
Yep.
Call me early in the morning at 6 a.m. They call me again at 10. They call me, I was like, but these people. But I also didn't understand their level of trust. You know how you can just trust me with money on an app? That is why it was very pointless for me to pay back. I didn't pay back, by the way, up to now. I just deleted the app. I said, that's it. That 40,000, you will not get it back. First, but the calls and the frustration. When I look as compared to when I get some money from the Sacco, it never happens like that. For me, that's like a safety net. But maybe you can just expound on that. But that was just to show people that other people there who give you money, it's crazy. They'll just
So usually, when members are applying for credit, we talk to them. Because, you see, in most cases, a borrower will look at you with eyes of I don't trust you.
Yeah.
You get? A lender will look at a borrower with eyes of I don't trust you. But this is a family thing for brothers. However, professionalism has to kick in. Where money is concerned, there must be professionalism. So we sit as brothers, and we hear from you. We listen. You tell us this and this. This is my business. This is how I'm getting money. These are my cash flows, and this is how I intend to do what, to pay the loan. So we will do a repayment plan based on what you can afford. Based on what you can afford, and even when things do not go the way they're supposed to go, we shall again we again want to listen.
Yes.
We want to listen to you to know what went wrong and how can we support. Should we reschedule? Should we give you more time? So that is what we look at. We want to give members credit that is going to choke them. No, we want to give you credit that is going to grow your wealth.
Yeah.
Because as your wealth is grown, you're going to pay back, and another person will do what? Will take out the same facility. So as we get to the interest rates, we first of all we look at what are our competitors doing? What are they charging? We compete with our competitors in the industry are commercial banks, money lenders, microfinance institutions. So when we're pricing our interest rates, we look at what these people are doing, and also fellow circles like us, because we work with them. We work with YSEV, we work with Stedfin, we work with 212 MTN Sacco. We look at what they are charging, and then that's where that's the basis where we get to price our interest rates.
Now, in a situation where a member with savings, say me, I've taken out my first loan, but since my savings can cover up for probably, can you grant a request where I am in position to come take a second loan? Yeah? And probably support my business. Like you said, maybe I'm struggling. Am I in position to take a second loan if my savings can cover that up?
Can you cover the second loan?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. If you had taken maybe the first loan, try to repay a bit, and then got stuck somewhere, and then you need to be refinanced.
Yes.
Again, we look at the security available. Could be you're providing another guarantor. Could be you're bringing in collateral. Then we look at the security available. Then we also look at the sources. We look at your cash flows. Apart from the business, is there in any other source of financing the facility? Or okay, if we give you more money, what do you anticipate to do? Or what inflows will this refinancing help you generate? So we look at all that.
So how does the Sacco handle and manage defaulting loans? Besides just selling the security.
You see now.
Yeah, and in terms of security, you can just enlighten me on that process of like acquiring a loan. We'll go into that. Then the conversation is still going big.
So you basically asking about how we handle defaulters.
Yes, defaulters.
Like any financial institution, I wouldn't want to say that we do have clean loans, that they're not people giving us headache and all that.
Yes.
But in Luganda, they have a say. The Baganda have a saying, Akuba umba.
Yes.
So, yes, in as much as we can have such challenges, but again we've set parameters on how we handle defaulting individuals.
Yes.
But the last, and I would repeat to you old boys that are listening in, the last and most painful thing would be to liquidate your property. We don't ever get there. As it happened before, it has not happened.
But that is interesting because you see how these credit things work, and people giving people money. Most, of course, like you said, the competition of money lenders. Okay, but this is maybe the difference between money lenders. Because in the real world we live in, the money lender, the common to the money lender, hopes that you don't pay back the money.
Yeah, of course. That is their prayer.
Yes, I think that's
Usually,
the business of money lending.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our hope, in as much as we take a hold of the collateral, because at the end of the day, we have to look at the membership, how our membership varies. We are not a staff circle.
What does that mean?
You see, with a staff circle, it is easy for the institution to manage repayments and to manage deposits. But our membership is diverse. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have this, we have members employed within here Uganda who are residents in Uganda. We have members in the diaspora far and wide. And so I need to protect Mark from Michael.
Yes.
I need to protect Michael from Mark. So what we do is we keep constant communication with the defaulters. Name and shame would come in when we are really tried, when it is too much. And again, it will be internal within the circle membership. It will be internal. So those are the... But
have we had any of those scenarios? I don't think so.
The name and shame?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it is something we don't want to do. But again, we play a patience card. And most of our members, most of our borrowers, yes, they might take long to repay. Mostly the probably what you could term as the defaulting loans. But at least we keep in touch. We keep communicating with them and then play the patience card. And then eventually when you give them more time, they begin to pay little by little, but yeah.
So, I've seen recently we are on a stringent campaign of ask the members to really buy into shares of the circle and the ownership.
Exactly.
First, give me an expound on that and why we have decided to go that way, where I want the members to really be part of this thing.
Okay.
Then also, what's the minimum and maximum share contribution?
What I can say is, and to you, the old boys that are listening, or that will listen later, all the circle members that joined before the recent AGM, the recent AGM was there in March, 26th March 2022. All the members that joined before joined with 5 shares. So they have 5 shares already. All members, those who joined in 2015, 2016, they were all joining with 5 shares.
So I'm just going to be topping up on my.
So you're going to be topping up. You're going to be topping up. You already have the 5 shares, and then we're all equal shareholders. But now we have started working the bank vision, the bank goal. We are not using the share system. We're using the saving system at first, because we wanted to study the environment. Because I've told you that our membership is diverse. We wanted to first study the environment. We wanted to first understand the savings culture of our members, the loan culture, so that after that, then we can now dive into the shares. You get. So, but with all the experience, the 6 years, 7 years experience from 2014, now we feel we are ready to dive into the shares and members begin to buy more shares in the circle. Because now, when you want to grow from one tier to another, because now we are a tier 4 institution, we want to go to a tier 3, tier 2, and then tier 1. Tier 1, which is a commercial bank, and that is our real vision.
Yes.
BOU looks at your capital. Share capital.
Right now, the newspaper had our share capital at what? 214 billion? Was it?
No, that is the newspaper.
The transactional money?
That is the total pool that members have contributed.
How much is that?
That was the asset base, and that is 2. It was by then it was 2.27 billion.
Interesting.
Now we have grown. We are now at 3 billion.
Wow.
We have grown. We're now at 3 billion of total assets. You get. So that is what the article was looking at, the total asset base of
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, but you're still explaining to
so what I'm saying is Now, when members buy more shares in the institution, you see, when you have to look at the strength, when you have to measure the growth and strength of an institution, you look at its share capital. Okay?
Yeah.
So now, we have started working the bank vision, and we want members to buy shares. Why? Why am I so passionate about this share thing? Because I believe shares are part of an inheritance of someone.
When you also learned these ones are not refundable, right? The non-refundable shares.
They are. What?
I can.
Okay, the word refundable is sounds somehow,
You're the expert now.
But what I would say is they are not directly withdrawable. Okay, you can't withdraw them as savings. You get, but they are free transferable. You as a member can sell your shares to another member, or the Sacco, the institution can buy those shares from you if you want to leave. The institution can buy those shares from you, keep them, possess them, and then sell them to another what? Another member who is joining.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's the minimum?
The minimum shareholder
is
the 5. The maximum is 170 at the moment. Yeah.
Do you have people who
have bought the? Yes.
Yeah, but
it is a very good campaign, and I want to again appreciate and also thank the members that have so far heeded this call. It is really good to see members buying shares. But again, I wanted to make a point on the shares. You see, when you buy shares in an institution, it means, one, you believe in this institution. It means you believe in this institution, and that you'll be always concerned about the modus operandi of this institution. You would want to know, how is our money invested, for example? How is our money invested? What are our
Speaking of which, how is our money invested?
The money, the members' funds, is invested in one, primarily, that is loans to the members, and then we are also now envisaging at investing money in land, buying land not to hold for long, buying land, subdivide, and sell to the members.
The Sacco is going to use my money to buy land.
Yes.
Then sell back to me the land.
Yes.
But how is that?
Now that one can work in this way. You can buy the land in form of land loans. What you're buying is an appreciating asset. It is an asset on your end. It's appreciating in value. Okay. So at the end of that day, it's a win-win situation for the Sacco and you.
And me.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Sacco is going to earn a loan interest on that loan, but again, you're also adding on your assets, and this asset you're buying, land, it is accumulating in value. It is appreciating in value. Okay, and then apart from that, the Sacco can as well sell to the public for as long as the public does what? Buys in cash. It's only the Sacco members that can access the land loans. But your for example, your auntie, who is not a Sacco member, your uncle, who may be a Sacco member, can access this facility, can access this land, buy it for as long as he or she has cash. Yeah. So that way, we will be earning money and paying our members real interest rates. Real interest on their savings. So,
but also you are still explaining that once now a member buys shares, they understand the modus operandi of the Sacco.
Yes.
They know how their money is being invested.
Yes. What I'm saying is that there is an energy.
Yes.
That shares.
Don't be dormant about
shares birth in a shareholder. You don't be dormant about stuff. For example, we could be here and you have a bank account somewhere in Equity, and you don't know the balance that you have on your account. You don't know. You see, and I've been able to observe quite a time that And usually when members ask me, Victor, I need a loan. My first question, I always ask, how much do you have in savings? Not that I don't know, or I can't confirm. I want to know whether you know, whether you are following up. When you receive the monthly statements, do you open them, or you leave them in the spam and trash mail?
Do
you follow up? You get. So that's what I always want to know. And I always encourage them, no, I want you to know your savings. I want you to know your member number. You get. So I believe that when an individual X buys 45 shares, they will be more active. It will birth an energy in them that they would want to be a part of the Sacco activities. If it is an AGM, they would want to come and attend. If it is an AGM for voting new leaders, they would want to know, who are we going to vote? Which leaders are we going to bring that are going to manage our money? You get. Because somehow they feel this is their thing. So that is what the share mobilization is all about, to create an energetic membership, a membership that is fully engaged in the Sacco activities.
What's like the main challenge affecting the dividend rate to members?
The dividend rate
to members, like
I don't think there is any challenge about that.
There's nothing. People.
No, usually dividends. I was talking to a member the other day. We had a lengthy conversation about 35 minutes. And I was telling him that you see, shares are basically bought for a long-term gain. For a long-term gain. If you want a quick gain, then savings will do for you.
But if you're looking long-term,
you're looking long-term, you're looking at the growth of an institution.
Time we go to a tier one, and
I even want to tell the members that are listening in. Even you, Mark.
Yes.
You bought shares when you joined the Sacco in 2020?
No.
2019.
2019.
I think 2019.
Yes.
That's when you joined the Sacco. And then the share per value was 20,000 by then, by the time you joined. So you bought 5 shares, meaning the value of those 5 shares was what? Was 100,000.
Yes.
Today, the value of those 5 shares, the number is still constant, 5, but the value has changed. The value is now 450 because the share per value has now grown to 90,000.
Speaking of which, now these guys, the new cats that have just come out of school, the old boys.
Yes.
How are they doing it? For them, they're not getting the 5, they're paying the 90.
They're still buying the 5, but are buying them at a new value.
Okay.
Because they are joining.
This is going to keep increasing.
So they are joining and benefiting from a Sacco that has grown on the sweat of the people that converted way back. You get.
That is totally.
You get. So as time goes on, as time goes by, your share value grows. So when you are leaving the Sacco, for example, Mark, if you leave the Sacco today, what will the Sacco do? The Sacco will pay you the value, the value of the new value of your shares. It will not give you 100,000. And how does it do that? The Sacco will use the share transfer fund, because every end of the year, when we make money in the net surplus, there are statutory deductions that we take off. By law, we are supposed to take them off.
Yes.
And those deductions include the share transfer fund. There are percentages. So the share transfer fund, the Sacco retains it for that day when member X would want to leave, and because ideally, if it is not there, it would mean that you would have to wait for a new member joining, or you would sell your shares to anyone who would want to buy. You will trade your shares personally. But with the share transfer fund, the Sacco can actually buy your shares and then pay you the value, and then the Sacco would sell the shares to anyone else or to a new member like that.
At that value.
Yes.
Someone is trying.
No worries.
That's really quite interesting. Now, what would it be about? Do we have like a strategy of making more money, and since we are looking at the vision being growing into a bank, is there also a strategy and plan of, because a bank is big, of including new members
that
are not Angonians
from the public?
Yeah, from the public.
That one, I will not speak about it right now, because some of the strategies, well, we can propose, but again, the supreme authority is the AGM.
Yeah,
is the AGM. But I would to think outside the box. I would think that when you become
you said in 3 years we're going to be
my target.
Yeah,
my target, and that's why I speak with energy.
Yeah,
my target is when we make 10 years. In 3 years, we'll make 10 years. We'll be a decade old.
Nice.
I want to rally members to save and buy shares, because the target is I want us at least to be to have grown at the MDI status.
Expound on MDI status.
The MDI is these are microfinance institutions, like you see Pride Microfinance, BRAC. That is a micro deposit.
We are still going to be an MDI as just only members and old boys.
Yes.
Interesting. But we still have the numbers, right?
Yeah, we still have the numbers. And by the way, before you even look at
the public,
the public and then the old boys, because you see, we can dive into the public if we have on board at least 50% of the alumni. But remember, the alumni is tens and tens of thousands.
Yes.
Tens of thousands and keeps growing. Yeah. That is why
we don't have 50%.
We don't have 50% yet.
Do you have in terms of percentage?
If we have 500 members,
we have
500 members, honestly, we have. You see, that's why our work is cut out for us as members, as converted members, Our work is cut out for us.
Okay, there's so much value in actually convincing.
Yes. There is so much value in convincing our friends to come and be part of this. But even before that, I'm happy that the PTA, the chairman of the PTA is an old boy. A parent, and a Sacco member.
Nice.
The treasurer of the PTA is an old boy, a parent, and a member of the Sacco. What am I looking at? We are looking at, you see, you have said in Namilyango that one day Namilyango makes you what? Angonian.
Yes.
The moment you registered, you have at some point registered and entered the gates of Namilyango, you're Angonian.
That's right.
So this means that even the boys at the college right now, they can be part of us. We can start educating them savings when they're still in the circle. We can register our presence at the college. And that is my mandate. And that is what we are looking at. Now that we have the chairman PTA and the treasurer PTA, circle members and parents, we are going to push that. That's our number one growth strategy in numbers, in form of membership.
Yeah.
So that the parents can open up accounts for their children. Start saving for them. Of course, those accounts will be earning interest on savings. That is a low-hanging fruit. You get. Just imagine how many students are at college right now. Let's say 2,000 students, and all of them are paying 50,000 every month.
That would be a good.
Every month. That would be good money coming in the circle, and then it will inform serious investments.
Very serious.
It will inform serious investments.
Now, in terms of still investments, is there like, I'd ask this question. Is there like a strategy on investment things? You had talked, just expand on when you're talking about the land.
Yes.
Besides the land, we have.
Apart from that, we have an investment committee. An investment committee that comprises of ex chairman of the Sacco. So the investment committee has a mandate of looking out for viable investment opportunities where the Sacco can invest members' money. So, and I think I would want the members to know the management structure of the Sacco.
Yeah.
That still instills confidence that our funds are managed well. Apart from the executive...
Let's look at the structure, Just break down for us the structure.
Apart from the executive committee, which is voted at the AGM also votes subcommittees.
Do you have like a board of governors as well?
No. The executive committee works as the board of governors, works as the board, the executive board. But it doesn't do the work alone. It works with other 3 boards. One is the investment committee, and its mandate is to look out for viable, secure, profitable investment opportunities that where the Sacco can invest money. And of course, when they get them, they advise the executive committee and decisions are taken. We have the credit committee. The credit committee works with the executive, but also advises the executive on loans, on approving and analyzing and, coming up with credit decisions. Then we have the supervisory committee. Now, the supervisory committee also works as the internal audit. Now, it is like the IG.
Does the audit release a report? I've seen you release statements monthly.
Yes. So the audit is supposed to release a report, half year reports. Yeah. But that is what it is going to do now. Okay. The audit committee is mandated to supervise and oversee the operations of the Sacco. If the Sacco is compliant to the policies that it has set, if the Sacco is compliant to the regulation and the requirements of the regulator, things like that. That is the mandate of the supervisory committee.
And we have policies.
Yes.
You can share of I just want people there. Like mostly those was not being converted to really understand.
Yes, we have the board and governance manual. Yeah. We have the human resource manual. We have the finance manual, risk management policy, savings and lending policy are all in place, and then the investment policy is also in place. So these policies guide our operation as the Sacco. Then apart from the executive committee, I've talked about the other subcommittees. There's also the vetting committee. Yeah. Now the vetting committee, its mandate is to make sure it acts as the EC of the Sacco, Electoral Commission of the Sacco. So it makes sure that qualified leaders come and serve the institution. And then also we have, then of course the management. Yeah.
Now, with the savings culture,
yes,
slowly dying. I don't know how people are functioning, but of course times have been hard. We have had to deal with the pandemic and all that. Now, I've also taken a while without saving. I think taken now like 3 months. That makes sense, but I'm going to resume definitely depositing money. Does that affect if I take some time without putting savings? Yeah. If I take a while, because of course livelihoods have been affected, and I'm not remitting money to the savings, does it affect in any way my share value, or does it affect me as a member in the Sacco in any way?
Well, the only way
financially,
it will affect you, it affects your interest. The interest you're earning from your savings will be static, because when we are giving out interest on members' savings, we look at how much they are saving. And
how much in terms of amount of money, or in terms of sequence of saving?
Not the frequency, but the value. The value of money you're bringing in. Okay. If I'm, let's say, saving 500,000 every month, my interest curve will oscillate like that. But if let's say I began the year with the 200,000, with 600,000, and do not save thereafter anything else, again my interest curve will be flat. It will be flat because I never increased anything. But so the interest curve will grow with growth in your savings. The more you put in is the more you get.
So now I've literally understood some of the metrics behind that. Take me through, how does the Sacco start? from the culture of like the Angonians. Yeah,
now the Sacco, the interesting bit is the Sacco started, the Sacco idea was birthed.
Benja, pictures.
The Sacco idea started in 2014. 2014, there was a PTA meeting. There was a PTA meeting. I think by that time, the chairman of PTA must have been Council Matthias Narianya. So there was a PTA meeting, and in that meeting, there was a committee. A committee was formed. An ad hoc committee was formed to generate ideas that would generate ideas that would from which income would be made to support the Nacoba.
Yeah.
The Nacoba is the alumni association, Namilyango College Boys Association.
Yes.
So that committee was established. That committee was headed by Mr. Vincent Salam, as well as other members. I don't have the names of head, but I know it was chaired by Mr. Vincent Salam. There was also the current chairman PTA, Mr. Engineer Ronald Katokaizi, was on that committee, I remember. So it was a 10-member committee. 10-member committee. And one of the ideas that they birthed, they birthed two ideas, that is the Nacoba Consultants and the Nakoba Sacco. So when they birthed the Nakoba Sacco, again, there was a lot of actual activity. I think actual activity began in 2015. Actual activity began in 2015 with 2014. Yeah, actual activity began in 2014 with the first CEO being Engineer Mike Watmon Kinyera. Then along the way, it was not easy at the beginning, but later on, the first Sacco meeting was held in 2015.
Yeah.
The first Sacco meeting was held at Fairway, and that is when energy was birthed. The first interim committee was voted, and that was headed by Mr. Ronald Kasozi. His vice was Engineer Henry Katongole, Rotarian Engineer Henry Katongole. Then that is when momentum was birthed, and that was the Sacco history.
Now, in terms of membership, when you say we only have 500,
yes,
are there is it? Do you again you've been dealing with the Sacco for the longest of times, so you probably have an idea. Do you feel like as the Sacco we are just not doing enough to get in more members, or the culture of saving is not something people generally have bought? Also, doesn't that speak to now, because again we have a whole alumni board, we also have a whole school that has thousands of students,
yes,
and this is really a good product, and this is a good initiative for anyone to join. Don't you think it could be a way of, well, you hinted on the PTA board people being in favor of the Sacco since they're part of the Sacco, but isn't there a way we could instill? You see, having money in the Sacco to me is just not saving. It also helps you manage and understand money, understand how you can get off interest, things like that. You could easily slide away if you're not in that line of school, if you're not in the finances. Don't you think there's a way we could instill this type of savings culture from maybe as young as S1? Because
exactly my point.
Okay.
So that is why.
So that we can have members who understand that, you know what, you don't just have to blow your money away. And here is the beauty about collectively getting your money in the Sacco, because there's so many advantages. I have seen a few friends just keep their businesses afloat because they're part of the Sacco, and it's no pressure. It's smooth. I was talking to Dr. Miche Gwang. I was trying to get him on the podcast. So he was telling me, he asked me, the first thing he asked, are you in the Sacco? Make sure you join the Sacco directly, because he was speaking from
You are speaking with the passion.
Experience and the passion
experience
of
and
knowing the beauty of just be a part of it. That's enough. As Angonian, that's the least you can do. So what are we doing to like get in? Because 500 is, even if we're a big circle, 500 is such a little number to the OBs we have and the cohorts.
500 makes me cry.
Yes.
It makes me cry.
It is so little.
And
much as
why.
people, and these results of people have saved all this money for all this time. Big money. I think the weekly rotas that people save up to like 20 AM in a week, and you're like, wow, someone has all this effort and they're willing, this trust. Do you think people just don't trust the circle? But that wouldn't be.
No, what I would think, what I would think is people didn't know.
So it's an issue of awareness. We just have to keep doing a lot of these.
It is an issue of awareness.
Okay.
They didn't know. I've tried to call old boys. I think I've so far called the most members of Forensic House, most members of Mokasa House and Beermans. I think I'm now going on Hanlon. But from what I gathered is, well, some knew about the circle. They have heard about it, but don't know it. You get the difference. They have heard about it.
Yes.
But there's a lot they don't know that could probably inform their decision to do what? To join. And this is not only those who haven't heard or who haven't joined, but also members. Sadly, also members. And that is why we now want our beginning with the converted already.
Yes.
We want them to know. Because once they know
the product and
they will become the first ambassadors of the circle. The reason why Dr. Mitch, as you have said, was able to speak to you with confidence is because he knows what the circle is, what he has been able to gather from the circle and achieve from the circle. That's why he's able to speak the way he's speaking to you. So if I want to borrow the idea of a pyramid kind of pyramid growth
scheme.
Pyramid
People
growth.
don't trust pyramid schemes.
No. I'm not saying pyramid scheme. I'm saying pyramid growth.
Yes. Just
pyramid growth, whereby I because me I'm converted. I know if I speak to Mark, I make him know. He will speak to another. Yes. That is the kind of pyramid growth.
Yeah, I think when you spoke to me, I spoke to Gilbert Opondo, the first
who
person.
joined.
Yeah, who joined eventually. I spoke to him. Was it Elvis? I am convincing Talha to join, and a lot of my I'll bring Timo.
But for me, I think now we are taking the right steps now. Yeah. To beginning with this podcast. Yeah. You see, there is a difference with members just reading information, but also now seeing the information coming from a person.
Yes, who is in charge and
who is
running the day-to-day operations. Exactly. Yes, that's really
so
helpful.
When they see such a podcast, video, it speaks to their confidence.
And this can also go in podcast form, so they can listen to the conversation to understand the metrics of the circle. That and the savings culture, by the way.
So I think now what we have realized as the management of our great circle is we need now to dive in so much with advanced ways of marketing, with advanced ways of selling our circle. I mean, if we don't sell our circle, who else will? Yeah. Who else will sell it? That is why I speak.
And me, I'm also coming on fully.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to be that ambassador.
But again, this culture ought to begin from school. That is why I'm saying is that now, since we have gotten these people within the PTA, now we must use them. We must utilize that opportunity that we have gotten as a circle. We have 2 solid members holding 2 key positions in the PTA. Then we must use that. We must register our presence. Yeah. I remember when we were in school, I think when I was in high school, NSSF would come in school. I opened my NSSF account from school.
Yes, I see.
You see, so why not? Why wouldn't a Victor somewhere in Namilyango in probably senior 1? Why wouldn't they open their circle account way back in senior 1?
And man, once you leave school and you've
So
even if you've just saved,
we have to register our presence.
It will make sense
in the school.
Yes.
These kids must know that the circle exists. For example, on their sports days, we should be there. We should be there. We should have a desk. We should have teardrops there on their sports days, and they know, hey, there's something called Nakoba Sacco. They should know that it is there. You get. So that's how we begin, from the grassroots.
I totally buy into that idea. Yeah. Now, let's go into you, the general manager, Victor.
Yes.
Tell us about you. How have you passionately stuck to? What is it about Namilyango that you liked, or just you in general, that at least you said, you know what, let me add my value to my school in this format? Okay. Something you've done religiously, peacefully, and we are definitely proud. And this I'm not just saying because you're on the podcast, but we proud. The emails, you have not tired, you've sent us those emails, you've reminded us on the money. Sometimes you would call, what is wrong with you? How come you're not saving? So that type of spirit, it's just not about someone doing their job. Yeah. It's also a spirit. Also, this is something that is new. You could have chosen to be employed elsewhere, but you believed from it from scratch. So that's one of all, first of all, that's commendable. But yeah, tell me about that spirit. What informs that spirit?
Okay, the spirit goes back to how the way I was brought up as an individual, as me.
Yeah.
I was raised in a humble family. I was raised by my grandmother. She raised me and the rest of my siblings in a Catholic way.
Yeah.
We saw how she offered herself for service. From the very first time I was with my grandmother when I was young. Actually, she walked me to school. I remember that time. But I saw her serving.
Yeah.
She would bring priest clothes, the priestly apparel, then
I remember I also did this in school, I think.
In school, I was in the Regio Mary.
Yes.
But when I was young, all I knew that my grandmother, every Saturday, she would go to church. I would go with her.
Yeah.
And then she was a sacrist. The Catholics call them sacrists, who work in the sacristy.
Yes. I'm Catholic myself.
Yeah. So she used to work there, and then she would climb on the ladder. Me, I was very short. I would send her things, and then she would decorate the church. And then I grew up seeing priest clothes being washed at home and ironed.
Yes.
So she gave herself to serve. So I learned it from there, because I was like her last born. In Luganda, I would say akanaka kuobo kadde.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how she raised me, and that's how I learned to serve. And in college, I did not, surprisingly, in Namilyango, I did not offer myself so much to serve. Apart from maybe I served the Regio Mary. I was in the church choir and all that.
Yes.
Then I served my class as class monitor. And many times, surprisingly, those guys were should I say, were big-headed.
Yes.
I would find myself sweeping the class all the time. Class monitor, but sweeping the class all the time.
But also this speaks a lot about you. I think that is something you definitely did, because you see, even these days I've seen, let's say we have a gala, if something is going to just stress you, you'd rather do it yourself.
Yeah.
That's the type of leadership.
So that's what I learned, that because one of the things I learned from my grandmother is that she always wanted perfection. I remember at one point, this is personal life.
Yes.
At one point, they bought my uncles bought for her a cow, Frisian. The Frisian cow was called Nachide. Sorry for the name. It was called Nachide. But Nachide became a problem to us.
Yes.
Because cleaning the saucepan, you would have to clean the saucepan where they put milk.
Yes.
Until you see yourself. So she was a perfectionist. She never wanted you to sit down doing nothing. Even if you had washed the dishes and all that. If in her presence you would have to do something. You would have to at least go in the garden, pick bottles, pick buveras and all that.
You have to be
make it be occupied.
Yeah.
So somehow So somehow I just grew up knowing that I need to serve people. And the thing is, after after being hired by the Sacco as an administrator, by then Sacco was still young. It had I think 150 members. It had 150 members. Then the savings was just 200 million. So the pay was not that, but again I didn't have any experience.
Yeah.
I said I would work. I would offer myself to serve. So I served, and then what again really caught my young energy is the way the old boys received me. You know, in Namilyango, we had that thing of not mixing levels during our days. Yes. You don't mix levels. You only interact with your classmates, your cohort mates. But even when I got out, I thought it was the same thing. But surprisingly, these Sacco members received me wholeheartedly, received me with open arms. And that is when that mixing of levels thing changed.
The Sacco is very, very, by the way, besides just the financial bit. You see, because for me, the first thing I joined about Namilyango, in all this alumni stuff, is the Sacco. Yeah? So the hospitality of just being welcome in the group by people who have made so much money than you, are older than you, they're experienced, but they still are as welcome as your age mates, is very commendable. Yeah. That energy, it built a lot of things. This is how the market group came up, how we converged. And I feel like, the spirit is commendable.
So for me, it is the way they received me. Yeah. It is, they actually exposed to me the in Namilyango we share spirit.
Yes.
The moment I saw that, these are gentlemen that have made it in life, because I could see the loans they were taking and repaying and all that. You see, you borrow a leaf. You see the purposes as to why they're borrowing, so you get to know what they're really going to do. So you borrow a leaf. And then I began to interact with them, making a relationship with them, business relationship with them. So I was like, okay, let me grow this. And of course, the series of advice I was getting from the management, that is the executive, the chairman, Ronald Kasozi, believed in me so much.
Yes.
He told me, you can grow this. Grow this Sacco, it will grow you. That's what he told me. Grow the Sacco, it will grow you.
Yeah. And you're on the right path, Victor.
So that's what I took. Yeah.
Now, as we conclude,
yes,
what legacy are you trying to leave behind, Victor, as someone who's serving?
What I want to leave behind.
In terms of first, the Sacco, the thing you've grown from scratch, you are seeing it rapidly grow every day. Right now, we're the biggest Sacco, but we have, I still insist guys should really join. 500 is a very discouraging number. We need more people to save. Also, in terms of like saving culture, before I go into the legacy, the roll calls of the week, have they stopped?
No, they have not stopped.
I don't see them in the group.
Just that they're there. I don't know, but I think it should have been.
They were really very encouraging. Now, when I used to wake up and I see that someone has sacrificed some amount of money, even if you see just 50,000, you're like, Dr. Julius has put 50,000. Let me look for 50,000.
No, the savings, we call it Nacosev.
Yeah, Nacosev.
Nacosev, and the idea is sorry to the Muslim family.
Yeah.
The idea was save a beer, drive safely to Nacoba, because when you drink responsibly, you drive safely and reach home.
Yes.
So the home vision is to reach a bank. So that was the idea. That on a Friday, save a beer or two, drive safely to Nacoba. That was the idea. And we're actually on the 39th Nacosev today. It begins on Friday. Sure. It is on.
No,
I don't know why you're not seeing them, but it is on their own.
I've left the group. You have to
maybe. But they're on.
To that group since I switched funds. Now, the idea of the bank, though, the institution of the bank becomes broad, yeah?
Yeah.
If we migrate to that vision, how realistic is that vision, one? And two, if we migrate if we transition into a bank, won't it suppress the needs of me having joined Nakoba Sacco as an old boy? Because now it becomes an institute that is taking care of so many other issues. It becomes entirely business. Probably the interest rates will have to match market standards.
Match market standards.
Yeah, but maybe we'll talk about that conversation
when
we reach there. But
a tricky,
yeah,
it's a tricky question. I understand where you're coming from and where we've come from as a circle, but I still think that the Namilyango community, the old boys, you see, by the way, partly what explains our growth is the series of advice and counsel, pro bono counsel, that we have been receiving from the good-willing old boys. And me, by the way, one of the things that address my growth over time and why I still stick with this institution and making sure that I leave a legacy is because of the series of counsel, advice, unpaid for, that I have received from old boys. And that's why I'm very, very passionate with social capital and being in these events. I'm so passionate. When you see me at the gala, you might think I'm on the gala committee, but I want to be there, and and I'm used. I like to be Victor, do this. Victor, go here. Not that I'm part of the.
I'm also really now trying to make sure I employ a big chunk of my time and resources in supporting old boy and old boy services. Really.
So to go back to the legacy. The legacy I want to leave behind. I want to leave it in the old boys themselves. I want the circle at the end of the day to have a dedicated staff of old boys. I want to grow them. I want to nurture them, and so that they can be able to serve our alumni to greater heights. I want to contribute to the greater Nacoba, so that it becomes an alumni that we all envy, that is enviable by all, that would all be dying to join. And then I would want to leave the circle when it has achieved its goal. Its real mission of when it has achieved its vision of being the institution of choice for members' financial needs, something that you would run to, go to. The moment I achieve that, I would have left a legacy.
Interesting.
It will speak for itself. Yeah.
That's it. Thank you, Victor, for coming through on the podcast.
Yes, you're
nice.
welcome.
And I know people have liked it. I've seen some of the comments come through already.
So I really hope I actually believe what we have done here. You're going to see numbers. You're going to see numbers coming. You're going to see numbers
and just the information getting to the people. To me, again, I don't. Metrics. You see, numbers are interesting. You can wake up. The episodes we have that go up to 16K and thousands and whatnot. So you wake up and look at YouTube and they're just numbers. But now something like this that has impact, where if I send it to Timothy Mugabe and I tell him, you go to the bar every Friday, but please join the circle. At least listen to Victor. These are the benefits. Now I do not have the burden of speaking so much about this. This can help me, but also the testimonials again, plus some of the work we have talked about doing. I think we should stick to that and do it. But otherwise, thank you for coming to the podcast.
Thank you
too. This is good.
Thank you too. We don't take this for granted, honestly. It's a very good platform.